You're watching the Randy and Christa Show. I'm Randy Alvarez.
And I'm Christa Orecchio, and this is news that makes you healthier.
Okay, bone broth today.
Bone broth.
Now we have the New York Times best-selling author, you brought her in, Dr. Kellyan's bone broth diet. Well, this is hot. She's a doctor, naturopathic physician, has also a master's degree, and great credentials. And she, I talked to her in the green room, probably gave one of the best compelling arguments to why everyone should be taking advantage of bone broth.
I would say definitely the most compelling argument for bone broth. She's my fellow Jersey Italian girl, so she delivers it with such passion and zest because of her experience of how people's lives have been transformed with this one magic elixir, is what I used to call it to my clients.
Now she's hot right now in the news. So
she's all over national media.
Been on Dr. Oz. She's on The Doctors. I mean, she's on all
Good
the
Morning
big
America,
shows. Good
the
Morning
Today
America.
Show. Really,
she's like a regular on GMA, I think.
Okay, I didn't know
So that's
that.
good. Yes, so she's very, very good. I've seen her around. I love her. I haven't read her book yet. And I told her I was a little skeptical with bone broth, but I'm sold. I've been dabbling in it. And frankly, when I do, I feel like I wake up, I have less facial inflammation. Like less bags, things like that.
Well, I'm going to ask her about inflammation in the interview. And I think, the book is great and it's simple. And I like that it's 21 days because it's something that anyone can do. And, now we have a new year and we can do our resolutions with something that's attainable. And you can do anything for 21 days.
I know her age. She told me. She looks 10 years younger, for sure. I said,
and she's done nothing.
She claims no lasers,
no injections, none of that.
things.
Like it's all through diet and health.
Yeah,
and
she's
really
doing a great job.
Rebuilding your natural collagen.
And it's nice to see somebody that walks their talk. So she says that she sees people like miracle stories, people that had, achy problems. In fact, she says she hit a wall with her in her clinic. She was eating right, doing everything, but at 40, all of a sudden, she says she couldn't lose weight. She didn't feel so good. I guess problems sleeping, and because of bone broth and a good diet, of course. Now, is it always combined with good diet?
It has to be. I think you have to bloom where you're planted, depending on where your diet currently is, and not take on too many changes all at once, because that's overwhelming and we set ourselves up to fail. So it's like if you do nothing different and you start to add in the broth, then naturally you're remineralizing, you're rebuilding collagen, and you're going to start to make different food choices. And it's a natural process versus, I don't have as many cravings for sugar or bread or those types of things. But of course, if you can keep the diet clean along with that, yes, you go a lot further, a lot faster.
Do you take bone broth?
Yes.
Every day? So every day you're doing it?
I don't know about every day, but I want to say 3 or 4 times a week for sure. I have 20 containers of it in my freezer right now. I haven't made it in a long time. And this interview is inspiring me to get back to, it's winter time, get back to making it again.
The problem is, like you feel healthy, right? You're a healthy person. It's probably tough to feel a difference when you add in something like bone broth. Is it?
It's not for me because I think whenever you're like functioning at a high pace and you have a lot going on, stress is going to leach minerals. And for me, bone broth is like an instant replacement of those minerals, and it calms me, it gives me energy, and it's the perfect food for someone like me. Warming, calming, refill your mineral supply.
Okay, good. We're going to go to your interview with her.
Yeah, let's get to the interview. You're watching the Randy and Christa Show, news that makes you healthier. I'm Christa Orecchio, and today my guest is New York Times best-selling author of Dr. Kellyan's Bone Broth Diet. She is also the host of the most popular PBS special, 21 Days to a Slimmer, Younger You. Let's welcome Dr. Kellyann Petrucci.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here.
Kellyann, I'm so glad we finally made this happen. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. 2 Jersey girls, all about health.
2 Jersey Italian girls.
Oh,
now we just have to make sure we don't talk too much, right?
That's what I said. We have to give each other a sign or something.
Totally. But we can talk all day about things that we both love, which are bone broth and gut health.
Yes.
And so I want to start off because I thought this book was excellent. This is your first book on bone broth, and now you have your new one that is just out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The Cookbook.
Thank you.
So bone broth is all the rage these days, right? It's super trendy. And, 10 years ago, we were just, really trying to get people to understand what it even was. So give me a little bit of a background of how you discovered bone broth, how it helped your patients, and what's the trajectory to have you become Dr. Bone Broth?
Well, I actually am called Dr. Bone Broth, and I'm proud of that. And it's really for a very heartfelt reason that this all came about. And that is, like so many people, I turned 40 and I hit a wall. Here's what happened. All of a sudden, my hair was no longer thick and shiny like it was most of my life. My skin didn't look good anymore. And I could not lose weight no matter what I was doing. And weight wasn't a big issue for me my whole life. And all of a sudden, I started getting a gut. Right?
The belly bulge.
The belly bulge. And I wasn't feeling like myself anymore. And I was tired more often. And there were signs of what I call fast aging. My body started going into rapid aging system. And then I started having some constipation and bloating and achy joints and a lot of these things that are so common that we see in practice. I thought, how is this that I employ all of these good resources, all of this knowledge, and yet here I am, bam, smacked right into the wall. So I thought, let me ask some colleagues what they think, because I can't figure this out. What's going on? They said, well, Kellyann, you're 40, of course. This is what happens. You have children now. You're a mother. These things are part and parcel of all of that. And Christa, I thought about it and I said, you know what? Just like I did with almost everything else in my life, I thought, I got to figure this out because it doesn't make sense. How I got into health, Christa, from the inroad was that when I was a very young woman, I had terrible menstrual cramps, could barely function. My mother didn't know what to do. She took me to the doctors and they said, you know what? You have something called endometriosis. And guess what? You probably can't have kids. So I had this messaging at a very young age, and it was like a hit in the gut. So I got slammed into the wall at 40. I got hit into the gut when I was young. And when I was young and this happened and I had this information, all I ever wanted was children. And when you come from an Italian family like we do, what do they talk about?
Oh, yeah.
Kids and food. Kids and food. Kids and food.
That's about it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it. So I knew, I'm not going to feel aimless. See, my patients come to me, Christa, they feel aimless. They feel lost. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn.
And hopeless, right? Because they've been given a diagnosis of you can't have kids or you can't do this, or deal with it and decline as time goes by, which is why we employ food as medicine and really how to heal. And I love how you say the turnstiles of our lives, because we never have it. We're constantly all humbled by living in a human body.
Yes, we are so humbled by that. And sometimes you have to really step into yourself and say, I have to figure this out, and not go outward, go inward. So it's a really important message that I had to learn, was to go inward and not outward. And when I was a young woman, and I said, you know what? The options they're giving me is all of these medications and all of these surgeries, and I want children. I don't know where to go. I'm lost. I'm aimless. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm hopeless. And that's what I do when I sit down with a patient. I feel that. I feel it on a deep level because I know what that feels like to say, I want something so bad. How do I get it? So the same thing happened. I figured that out. I figured out food. So my answer at that time as a young woman was food. And thank God I found out, because now I have 2 beautiful boys.
Yes.
So here I was faced with another challenge through another turnstile of my life. When I turned 40, couldn't get results. And here's what I found out. There's something that your body needs a lot of as you start advancing in age, and it's called collagen.
Collagen. We've talked about that on this show quite often, you guys.
It's an important element, but before I get into collagen, if I may, I have to talk a little bit about why my body wasn't getting results, why I felt constipated, bloating, why my skin didn't look good, why I was noticing wrinkles, why my hair was starting to really lose its luster, why my fatigue levels were higher, why this effervescence that I had, this energy that I had and I was known for, it started dropping. Why did this happen? Well, there's 3 things that every person needs to know, and it's the most important thing I'm going to say on the show. The most important thing. In order to get what you want, in order to step away from feeling aimless, step away from feeling hopeless, if you were to take every patient that I ever saw and you were to put them in a football field and you were to dilute down what is it that eventually got them results, it was 3 things.
What
The
are those
first.
3 things?
The first, they must heal their gut. Number 1, heal the gut.
Yes.
Number 2, get that inflammation out of the body. Kill it. Get it out. And 3, teach the body to become a natural fat burner. That is the premise and the core and the heart behind the bone broth diet. It's why I wrote it, because I know that's essential. It's why I wrote the follow-up cookbook, to help provide foods that do all of that. They're engineered to do all of those things. That's why. Those 3 things are necessary. And guess what? When you find something as a clinician, as a doctor, that does all 3 of those things, my God, you pay attention. You pay attention. And guess what does that?
Bone broth.
Bone broth, every day, all day. Here's what I hear in my practice, and this is why I'm so enthused. This is why I literally, and I can say this proudly, I made bone broth a revolution. Here's why. I had a patient, Maris. Maris came to me and she said, Dr. Kellyann, I am a prisoner of my own home. I have such bad Crohn's disease. I am so locked into my home. I am happily married, yet I don't want my husband to come near me. I can't believe what's happening to my body. I'm aging quicker than I want to. She was miserable.
And a prisoner of her own body, in her own home, and your
how many times have we
entire
heard
existence
that?
changes. Countless times.
So
Countless.
the bottom line is, what she was telling me is, I am desperately unhappy. I desperately want joy. I don't have it. I don't know where to get it. So here's what happened. Maris came back in 21 days, and I will have to explain to you why I say 21 days. It's a critical part of this understanding. In 21 days, Maris came back and she said to me, walked in the room, and all she did was look at me with these devilish eyes, and she said, you mean to tell me it was about food all along?
Yay! The healing power of food. And so she was on, tell us.
She was
We
on the
wanna
bone
know.
broth diet.
21 days.
And 21 days. And she actually did many series of the 21 days, which a lot of people do.
Right.
A lot of people do this. So it's really important to give your body what it is begging and starving for, and then see what happens. See the magic unfold for yourself, because it did for Maris. I had another woman, Tracy came in, and Tracy said, you know what, Dr. Kellyann, I had to quit my job because I have shingles. I have tried everything. So I'm thinking it must be my job. I don't know what else. I am in such a state in my life right now because I can't get rid of these shingles. Well, what would you do if I told you that 21 days later, it was 50% gone? What would you do if I told you after 2 series of the 21 days, it was gone?
And it's amazing to think how quickly and effectively we can shift our whole experience of life by improving our health. So let's dig in. You know, what are they doing for these 21 days?
Yes.
And then I have a really important collagen question for you.
Yep. Okay. So here's what they're doing. Over a period of 21 days, and I said I have to speak to the concept of 21 days. This is not because I love the number 21. This is not a marketing stunt or ploy at all. One of the things I learned studying at a very prestigious clinic, the Paracelsus Clinic, with a very esteemed doctor, one of the most esteemed doctors in the world, Dr. Rao, is that you have life cycles in your body. Your cells have life cycles. The life cycle of your intestinal cells are 21 days. So then, if that's true, and your intestinal cells turn over in 21 days, does it not then make sense that if you give your body the right raw material for the course of that life cycle, you
get new cells.
You got a new,
healthier
new
cells.
thing to deal with.
Yes.
Whole new situation. So I'm so stoked about the new cookbook that's out, Dr. Kellyann's Bone Broth Diet Cookbook. It is the accompanying book to the New York Times bestseller, The Bone Broth Diet. And if you were to say, Dr. Kellyann, I want one book, what do I get? I'd say get the cookbook, because I go through the whole diet in the cookbook.
Okay.
As well as so many rich, beautiful bone broth recipes and fat-burning foods. But there's one component that makes it so extraordinary and so special, and that is I help you discover something that I created, which is called mini fasting. Do not let the word fasting scare you. This is the most comfortable fasting you will ever have in your life with the same results. That is 2 non-consecutive days a week. You are sipping on bone broth. You have a light meal at 7 o'clock. Pow. And what do I mean by pow? You get rid of this. 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 Stored fat. Remember, I made those promises. You are going to become a natural fat burner. You're going to heal the gut. You're going to reduce inflammation. That's what you get.
Improve your skin.
Improve your skin. Beautiful, radiant skin. Because you know what? We're doing a lot with the skin. We're doing a lot of shots and, all of those kind of things. And there's no judgment here. All I'm saying is it's not about concentrating on one area of the skin. It's about the overall luster and demeanor of the skin. That's the foundation. That's the basic premise of what you need for true beauty. That's true beauty.
I love how you describe bone broth as liquid Botox or liquid Spanx, and it really is true. You notice such a difference. And now we're coming into a new year, and I know that a lot of you guys don't like to fast, or it's taking something away from us when we think, oh, we can't eat. And we have a 4-day bone broth fast in our gut programs. And so now it's a new year. It's the perfect time to just rejuvenate no matter where you are, whether you're suffering or not, if you're already healthy, to get to the next few levels. So we're going to put a link to your book on our website because you include bonuses that go with your new cookbook. So we'll put that there at thewholejourney.com/bonebrothcookbook. And I'm going to embark on this challenge, and my husband has already agreed to in the new year.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, we always leave our viewers with some final action items. So if you were just to give a couple of things that they can do right now after watching this, what's the most important?
So the most important thing that you can do is get bone broth into your life. You know I'm going to say that. 1 or 2 cups a day will make a huge difference in your life. Super, super important. I also have collagen broths and powders on my website.
I love this. Yes. I really do. When we're traveling and it's busy,
it's sourced very well. This is an extremely healthy, well thought out product. You rip it open, you stick it in a mug with some hot water, and it's absolutely lovely. It tastes like grandmom's chicken soup, chicken broth. You will love it. It will make so much difference.
I love that it has fat. It has coconut oil in it, you guys, which I have you put in your broth.
And that's what I was going to come to. My last statement would be, get those bad oils out of your home. Get them out of your home. You want the 1-2 punch, bone broth, healthy fats. You are looking good. And let me tell you how easy this is. You can do this yourself if you want to. You can do it inexpensively and quickly. Get a slow cooker, right? You can do it in a stock pot, but a slow cooker is my favorite way. Throw some bones in there, celery, onions, carrots. You can even break them with your hands. Bam, bam, chop the onion, throw it in there. Put water about 1 inch over it. Put the lid on the slow cooker. Turn it on. Bye-bye. Go take care of your kids. Go to work. Run around. Do whatever you want. It's that simple.
It is. Grass-fed, high-quality, pasture-raised bones, right?
Well, the health of the animal definitely comes on to you. You have to remember that, that reciprocity, so to speak, in health. So it always transfers.
Let food be thy medicine.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Kellyann. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Randy and Christa Show. News that makes you healthier. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Randy and Christa Show. I'm Randy Alvarez. I'm here with Christa Recchio. Excellent interview, both from Jersey. You can see you're laughing a little bit,
do you love her passion? Right? How she's like, this goes away, this goes away. It's so cute, but
and she's walking her talk. I saw her walk in here.
Talk.
I when I heard her age, I couldn't believe it, actually. And I'm not just siding with her. It was really remarkable.
Yeah.
And she gives bone broth the credit. I think she even said that she was a little skeptical at first, but when she saw what it was doing with her patients,
right,
it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and just to have the ability, I don't think there's any other food out there. I'm the food as medicine girl. That's been my whole thing for years. And it's like if there's one food out there that can cover the broad spectrum of helping you heal your gut, helping the nervous system by balancing the minerals, helping balance the hormones and the endocrine system, relieving inflammation. So now we're working with the immune system. It is that one food that covers all aspects of physical health. And I think that's its biggest claim to fame is, we're all busy or, we have a lot going on. We want to cook, but we don't know what to do. And if there's one thing we can do and it's simple, it's to add broth in. And especially in the winter, it's a lot easier to do.
Do you make your own broth?
I haven't made my own broth in a while because
I buy
Lance's broth. He's my friend, the flavor chef, and he has a place called the Brothery, and I go hang out with him over there with these huge urns of broth, and it's all from local, pasture-raised animals.
Tell me about this. You do this every single time.
I'm going to show you a picture I posted on Instagram. Yeah. He's in his place is right in Vista.
May I ask why you never told me about this guy?
I don't know. We need to have outings and take this show on the road and go to the brothery and
I feel
show
like you don't let
guys
me in
how
on
broth
some of the
is
good
made.
stuff. So bone broth. Also, she has her own packets that are convenient.
Yeah, I haven't tried this yet, but I was really excited that she brought broth to go. It's awesome because it's grass-fed bones. This comes from grass-fed collagen, so from cows, and there's coconut oil in there. So I'm having all of my people add coconut oil to their broth, as well as sea salt and the good stuff. So yeah.
So
you want to fight over this?
I already asked you for it. You
can
said,
have
really?
it. Yeah.
Well, that's
can
nice
have
of
it.
you, Krista, because your skin already looks good.
Thank you. I
You
have
look
enough
refreshed.
broth in the container.
So she has a 21-day program. I like what she says about beauty. Beauty is great skin. One of the great skin. One of the things that makes and adds to beauty. And she says noticeably, people can see the difference in their skin right away, and their hair, and their nails.
Right, skin, hair, and nails. This is everything that we need to rebuild collagen. And also because you're also getting it from the inside out. You're healing the gut, you're having less inflammation, you're lowering insulin, you're able to lose weight. So it is really beauty from the inside out as well. When you balance your hormones, that shows on your skin as well. When you heal the thyroid, that shows on your skin as well. So it's...
So you are a clinical nutritionist. Do you tell everyone to drink bone broth?
Yeah.
So you do?
Everyone can drink bone broth. There are some people, just a small subset of people that I've worked with that are very, very sick that can't handle the bone broth because they can't handle the glutamine in their system. They have an incredibly leaky gut. They have histamine intolerance. Glutamine turns into glutamate, raises glutamate levels. This is just a small subset of people that we have to just get gut healing in a different way.
Very rare. It's gotta be rare.
It's very rare. For 99% of the people, they will thrive off of broth. But in even those people, we heal their gut in a different way, and then they thrive off of broth.
She says 3 times a day. That's what I heard her say
She
when
said
you were
1
interviewing
to
her.
2 cups a day. 1 to 2
I thought
cups
she
a
said
day.
3 cups. Oh, that was on her fast, her mini fast.
When you're doing her, yeah. As a general rule, 1 to 2 cups a day. It'd be great. You guys, what if you swapped out your coffee with broth and you did that, just that,
Could
for
you put the broth in
21
your
days?
coffee? I'm sure you could.
I'm sure you could, but I don't think that would taste very well. I don't think I would try
And she
it.
says it's kind of like chicken soup, like really good chicken soup.
Yeah, that's all it is like
pack.
chicken soup. And it's so funny to see this trend and it's all the rage and it's right. And I just remember in my office like 10 years ago getting, and I used to consult for our local seaside market, and have them bring in new healthy products. They said, what is this bone broth stuff that you want us to bring in? And I did grocery store tours and I said, I promise you it'll sell. And one client at a time, I'm like explaining, extolling the virtues of bone broth and please get out of my office right now, go to Seaside Market and buy this bone broth.
love it.
Right? And now it's like we don't have to do that because
So you've been doing it 10 years. You've known about bone broth for 10 years. So is that one of the reasons why you haven't urged me, since we know each other, to do bone broth?
I think I've urged you to do bone broth at least once or twice
Once or
before.
twice is not enough.
But you're just getting into
You should
bulletproof
say-
coffee now.
That's
so
true. I like
first things
bulletproof
first. And then
Oh, you're easing me in.
I think I'm going to get you bone broth. I'm going to get
I'm
you
in
a
the bo- I'm
supply
sold.
of broth, okay?
I will take.
I will deliver it to your
Okay.
door. And you'll drink
Okay.
1 to 2 cups a day before the
I may
next
do
show.
3 or 4 cups a day.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
good. Look, and we'll do a follow-up and see what it does for me. Maybe it'll make me nicer because I know some of your followers think I interrupt you too much.
They love you now. That was in the early shows.
Oh, the early show. I'm trying to be as nice as possible, not give my opinions. I don't say anything negative about vegans. I made a joke about a vegan, I guess, and that was terrible, and I apologize. So, bone broth diet. Get the book. Everybody should read
Bone
Dr.
broth diet
and her
the
cookbook.
Bone broth diet cookbook, and she also has bonuses of like how you can go along with it, so extra things, and we put that through our website, thewholejourney.com
Good.
/bone broth cookbook.
I'm getting the cookbook. I want to thank you for always hosting a great show. You did a great job with her today.
Thank you for being an excellent co-host, Randy. It's always a lot of
Try
fun.
not to upset your followers, your tribe, right? All right. You've been watching the Randy and Krista Show. I'm Randy Alvarez.
I'm Christa Orecchio. Thank you for being here, you guys. We wish you a beautiful new year.